Picture this: a kitchen where you could send food on a hidden elevator to another floor, store your bread in a specially designed tin drawer, and press futuristic buttons to cook your dinner. These weren't science fiction dreams. They were real features that once graced American kitchens. Our ancestors had some genuinely clever solutions for daily challenges that we've completely forgotten about in our rush toward modernization. From the early 1900s through the 1970s, kitchen design was all about innovation and efficiency. Every decade brought new materials, technologies, and space-saving ideas that promised to revolutionize home life. Some of these features were so successful they became standard in millions of homes, only to vanish as lifestyles changed and new priorities emerged. Let's take a nostalgic journey through 10 fascinating kitchen elements that have quietly vanished from our modern homes. You might be surprised by how ingenious some of these solutions really were. Hoosier cabinets. Long before built-in kitchen cabinetry became standard, the Hoosier cabinet reigned supreme in early 1900s kitchens. Named after the Indiana company that popularized them, these ingenious freestanding units were like the Swiss Army knives of kitchen furniture. Absolutely everything you needed in one compact, well-designed package. They boasted built-in flour sifters, sugar compartments with pour spouts, dedicated spice racks, and even pull-out work surfaces for food prep that doubled as cutting boards. The really fancy models included tin-lined bread drawers to keep loaves fresh for days, glass front storage for displaying fine dishes, and even built-in recipe holders so your grandmother's handwritten cards wouldn't get splattered with ingredients. These cabinets were often sold on payment plans, making them accessible to working families who couldn't afford custom kitchen renovations. The top section typically housed everyday dishes and glassware, while the base featured deep drawers perfect for storing pots, pans, and bulk ingredients. As homes evolved toward built-in everything and open floor plans became fashionable, these charming workhorses found themselves retired to antique shops and nostalgic collectors who appreciate their incredible functionality. Push-button stoves. The 1950s promised us flying cars and robot maids, but what we actually got were push-button stoves, and honestly, they felt pretty futuristic at the time. These sleek appliances replaced traditional knobs and dials with space-age buttons that controlled burners and ovens with what seemed like space-age precision. The appeal went beyond just functionality. These stoves represented the modern American dream kitchen, often featured in magazines and home shows as the pinnacle of domestic sophistication. Many models came in vibrant colors like turquoise, pink, and sunny yellow, making them the centerpiece of mid-century kitchen design. Some even featured automatic timers that would shut off the oven, making them significantly safer than their predecessors. No more forgetting about that casserole and coming home to a smoke-filled kitchen. The buttons were designed to be easy to clean, with smooth surfaces that wouldn't trap grease and grime like traditional knobs. While they looked like something from the Jetsons and promised effortless cooking, advancing technology and the realization that buttons could be confusing in emergency situations eventually made them as obsolete as, well, the Jetsons' predictions about our current decade. Built-in flour sifters. When baking from scratch was the norm rather than the exception, built-in flour sifters were a baker's best friend and a sign of a truly well-appointed kitchen. Integrated directly into kitchen cabinets, these clever devices could sift flour straight into mixing bowls, eliminating the mess and clouds of flour dust that came with handheld sifters. The design was beautifully simple. A hopper at the top held unsifted flour, while a crank mechanism operated the sifting screen below. The larger models held up to 5 pounds of flour, making them perfect for those ambitious Sunday baking sessions when the whole family would gather to make pies, bread, and cakes for the week ahead. Some models even featured measuring marks on the sides, so you could sift exactly the right amount without needing separate measuring cups. Installation required careful planning, as the sifter needed to be positioned at the right height for comfortable use while still allowing clearance for mixing bowls underneath. However, as pre-sifted flour hit the shelves and electric mixers took over the heavy lifting of combining ingredients, these specialized fixtures gradually disappeared from kitchen design. Today, finding one in working condition is like discovering a piece of functional kitchen art. Breakfast nooks. Remember when families actually sat down together for morning meals instead of grabbing protein bars on the way out the door? Breakfast nooks, or dining nooks, made this daily ritual extra cozy and intimate. These built-in seating areas, usually tucked into kitchen corners or bay windows, featured comfortable bench seating with hidden storage underneath. Because who doesn't need extra space for table linens, seasonal dishes, or those kitchen gadgets you use twice a year. Inspired by the intimate seating found in European cafes and English pubs, they created a warm, casual atmosphere perfect for family meals and morning conversations over coffee. The benches were often upholstered in cheerful fabrics that could handle the occasional spilled orange juice, and the tables were typically sized for 4 to 6 people, just right for most families of the era. Many featured built-in lighting above, creating a perfect reading nook for the morning newspaper or homework after school. The curved corner seating made conversations more natural and intimate than formal dining rooms allowed. Open floor plans eventually swept them away in favor of kitchen islands and great rooms, but they still hold a special place in cottage style and vintage home designs. Modern homeowners are actually rediscovering their charm, especially those working from home who appreciate having a cozy spot for casual meals that's separate from their main workspace. Wall-mounted can openers. Before every kitchen had a junk drawer filled with gadgets, the wall-mounted can opener was the epitome of space-saving efficiency. Popular from the 1950s through the 1970s, these trusty devices clung to kitchen walls, always ready for action without cluttering precious counter space. They were the perfect solution for busy households where counter real estate was at a premium. Electric models and improved handheld versions eventually made them unnecessary, but vintage collectors now treasure these simple, functional pieces of kitchen history. Meat safes. In the pre-refrigeration era, keeping meat fresh required more creativity than just cranking down the thermostat. Enter the meat safe, a wooden or metal cabinet with mesh or perforated panels that allowed air circulation while keeping pesky insects at bay. Placed in the coolest, shadiest spots of the kitchen or pantry, these ingenious storage units used airflow to prevent spoilage and moisture buildup. Some luxury models even included ice compartments for extra cooling power. Once electric refrigerators became affordable and reliable, these clever contraptions became obsolete practically overnight. Pull-down ironing boards. Back when every shirt needed pressing and wrinkle-free fabric was still a fantasy, pull-down ironing boards were a space-saving marvel. These wall-mounted units folded neatly away when not in use, perfect for the efficiency-minded homes of the mid-20th century. The Deluxe versions came with built-in lights and electrical outlets, because nothing says luxury like not having to hunt for an extension cord while ironing. As permanent press fabrics improved and separate laundry rooms became standard, these convenient fixtures gradually disappeared from kitchen walls. Linoleum flooring. Long before luxury vinyl planks dominated showrooms, linoleum was the practical choice for kitchen floors. Invented in 1860 by Frederick Walton, who clearly knew a thing or two about durability. This eco-friendly flooring combined linseed oil, cork dust, and wood flour into surprisingly resilient sheets. Available in countless colors and patterns, linoleum brightened kitchens while standing up to spills and heavy foot traffic. Though vinyl and laminate eventually overshadowed it, modern homeowners are rediscovering linoleum's environmental benefits, proving that sometimes old ideas are the best ideas. Tiled countertops. Before granite became the gold standard and quartz conquered the market, ceramic tile ruled kitchen tops during the 1940s and 1950s. Homeowners loved the durability and the rainbow of colors and patterns available. You could create anything from subtle sophistication to bold geometric statements. The tiles themselves aged beautifully, but the grout lines told a different story. Keeping those narrow spaces clean became a never-ending battle that ultimately drove people towards seamless surfaces. Some historic homes still showcase their original tiled counters, proving that quality craftsmanship truly stands the test of time. Dumbwaiter. Before open-plan living merged kitchens with dining spaces, the dumbwaiter was a kitchen's secret weapon, whisking dishes and groceries between floors with effortless charm. Popular from the late 1800s through the 1950s, these compact rope-hoisted or mechanical elevators were built into the walls of multi-story homes, connecting kitchens to dining rooms or basements. A wooden or metal compartment just big enough for plates, trays, or pantry staples, zipped up and down with the tug of a pulley or push of a button. In upscale homes or city apartments, dumbwaiters were a hallmark of efficiency, letting cooks serve piping hot meals without racing upstairs or interrupting dinner party elegance. Some even featured call bells to signal when the roast was ready upstairs. As single-story ranch homes and open floor plans took over in the mid-20th century, these clever contraptions faded, replaced by kitchen islands and casual serving styles. Today, dumbwaiters are quirky relics in older homes, often sealed behind walls or repurposed as quirky storage, evoking an era when vertical ingenuity kept kitchens and dining rooms seamlessly connected. What forgotten kitchen features do you remember from your childhood? Perhaps your grandmother's house had one of these clever contraptions. Or maybe you've discovered mysterious fixtures in an older home and wondered about their original purpose. These ingenious solutions remind us that our predecessors were incredibly creative problem solvers, often finding elegant answers to daily challenges with simple, well-designed features. It's fascinating to think about how these disappeared, not because they didn't work, but because our lifestyles, priorities, and expectations changed. Some vanished due to new technology, others because we decided convenience mattered more than craftsmanship, and a few simply because trends moved on. Yet many of these features solved problems we still have today, just in ways we've forgotten about. Share your favorite kitchen memories in the comments. We love discussing the ingenious solutions that our predecessors used to make their culinary lives easier, more organized, and more enjoyable.